Buongiorno. Welcome to another exciting edition of Coffee with Stephen. So this week's blog is entitled St. George. And I'm not actually referencing the character or the individual of St. George. I'm actually specifically referencing a piece of Florentine artwork, a statue that was carved by Donatello. So many of you already know that I, in addition to, liking to consider myself to be somewhat of an amateur theologian, I also happen to have a unique interest in 14th century Italian Renaissance art, because who doesn't, right? But there is one particular statue that, one of my favorite artists was Donatello. And there's one particular statue that he carved that is in Florence. It's a statue of St. George. And for those of you who don't know, St. George was famous as a Catholic martyr. And according to legend, he fought a dragon and slew the dragon. It's the statue, though, that I really wanted to focus on, because as I was going through some of my pictures and looking at some of the, this artwork, I was struck by the actual physical statue. The statue of St. George, who is by definition a combative warrior, is unique in its humanistic form. More importantly, it's the countenance upon his face. And this was, just to get into a little bit of art history, a transitional moment as we moved from sort of a Gothic medieval or high medieval art, which is very highly generalized, to a much more humanistic form of art that is more, consistent with what we consider to be Italian Renaissance art. The expression on St. George's face is of extreme confidence, and it's palpable, and you can see it. And what's also fascinating about this statue is that St. George, a warrior, is completely unarmed. There is no sword. Now, he is standing behind a shield, which is resting on the ground beneath his feet, but he is, for all intents and purposes, weaponless. And yet, he displays what we now would refer to as an extreme level of not only mastery at skill at arms, but professionalism at arms. And I think that the thing that I find so fascinating about this is that it is not totemistic. It doesn't highlight the presence of a sword or modernly the presence of a firearm. Rather, it's the presence of a mindset. This is what makes him uniquely a warrior. Anyways, the blog itself is somewhat descriptive. Hopefully, somewhat educational. For those of you who haven't spent a lot of time thinking about Italian Renaissance art. But I do hope that you read it, and as always, definitely comment on the blog. And as always, train constantly, train consistently, train repetitively, and train with purpose. Above all else, stay safe.